Oh, yes.
Number banished is not a win, so here we go. I don't know how many people are going to be online, given that it is the 27th, but I'm back at home. I didn't have to travel very far. We got Starter Perils, very strong. Starter Avenger, pretty good. Starting Penitent's Bloodsuit, sucks. We've got Entropy Seraph, Thorn's Flesh Weaver, and Spike's Kale. Spike's theme, and we're on a Pyre of Entropy, so we're going to have all the draw in the world. I wonder if Deepwood Oil applies when I Penitent's Bloodsuit things. That'd be really uncomfortable. I'm going to take the Refined Void. I almost always want to go Glutton for Penumbra, so I think we just build top floor Glutton with an Avenger somewhere and just try that for now and see where we go. It's usually a safe way to go. I think we can do this with Penumbra. We don't have Plinks or other damage to help us clear these units, though. So this is likely to leak some units by, but I'm going to go for it anyway. We have Uriel. We're going to have a top floor showdown with Uriel. I think I'm going to do this, the Avenger on the second floor. This is Forsaken Few, so I don't have to worry about a lot of these backliners and what they're doing. I'm just going to do this to prevent one unit from getting by. And then put you back here to help trim things. I'm just going to do this. So the extra lifesteal everything comes in with means these first few attacks aren't really going to bother me much. Check these. Okay, no attack value on those guys. So if I want this Collector, I need to Just Cause him. I will take that. I'll get rid of another one of these guys. We're going to take some Pyre damage, but we're always taking Pyre damage with Pyre of Entropy anyway. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Okay. I can give one of these an attack score with Perils, take out a Forsaken with that. That's handy. Do this. Okay. It should be the last 3 damage there. We have a Balk coming in. Do we want to Just Cause something else? I'm trying to think if there's any meaning. So he's going to do damage in... well, he's going to do 14 right off the bat. We've got 6 coming in, so it's going to be about 20, and then the next cycle after that is going to be 12. So there's not much gain on him for Valor. I might have been able to make him survive a 3rd attack if I fed him the other morsel. Lifesteal morsel might actually buy him more time. Well, like I said, it's a cycle of 20, and then it's 12 damage, and he's got an effective 30 health, so it's just not... It's just a little too much. Yep. Top floor, I think, wins. Yeah, we're good. The Refined Void does work well with Glutton. So we took damage to get that payday, but we got the payday, so that's what matters. I think here it's probably the Packed Morsels. Need a little bit of extra initial fuel. Is Cleave a good solution to Chosen of Entropy? I don't think so. No, I think the problem with this faction combo is that we don't know what we're doing to deal with Cherubs and other stuff, because we don't have any sweep units. we have really bad backline control. Are we meant to take challenge for that? I think usually the way I've done the best with this is with, like, a Shield of Wing Revenge setup, because that does out a lot of units. I know I've used Cleave sometimes. I'm just not sure if this is a good... If I was on Dominion, I would go for this Cleave. But I think if it's not Dominion, I probably don't bother. I don't really see Challenge helping me either on that same front. So I'm going to move on. I think we're in a situation where we're going to need to have an abusively powerful top lane. I have one unit that I could upgrade at the Merchant of Steel, but it's my only Merchant of Steel before the Flesh Weaver. So I think we have to go there. Let's see what we can do. Frenzy and Large. Probably going Large. Okay. Let me go with probably a Large Avenger and a Frenzied Demonic Fledgling. I think it's the best I can do for stats right now. I could give him some initial Valor, but I think this guy really needs to have more protection than just having a flat amount of Valor. Do I Heartstone a Shield Steward? Got an awkward position for Flesh Weaver, because Flesh Weaver's initial attack can kill baseline Penumbra. We'll need to find something to stand in front of him. I think I will need this. I almost always make that choice for Flesh Weaver. I usually stand by it. Higher Dampener, Quicksilver Cherubs. This is going to be annoying. But I think it's playable. This Avenger's a 2-coster, right? Yeah. Set up like this. Blank middle floor, because we won't be able to really deal with some of these things. It looks like the Fledgling is doing a decent job here, at least. So if that's the case, let me start up a Just Cause here. Looks like Valor 10 is about the break point for this fight to not kind of atrophy away. I'm just going to collect this with a Mag Morsel. Only feeding 2 to Penumbra is way too slow. We do need to pick up a size increase. I think bottom floor is probably going to carry at this point. Yep, size stone's actually too big for this guy. And the Avenger actually does function well when he gets to a high attack value. I think I like Antumbra Assault here, because I want some direct damage for flexibility. So, with Umbra, there's not as much that we can do with Rising Rage as with other builds. So we're not usually looking to overpack floors, but I will take it for utility. Run over here, we need to grab another unit. I'd love to have a Morsel Maker or a Morsel Master. Not finding it. This is possibly a skip with our current setup, but I'm going to take the Crucible Warden. We got the Holdover Perils. Cannot afford the Spell Chain on that, unfortunately. Let's see. Emberstone something. Should be a Just Cause or a Shade Splitter. Well, Emberstone a Just Cause. And let me see. I'm going to remove this Shield Steward. I think that's a bit of a gamble, given that we're up against the Flesh Weaver, and I might need to replace him, but that's what I've got right now. Just going to go for it. Mirror. I don't think I have a good thing to duplicate at the moment. There's maybe a line of play where we duplicate the Demonic Fledgling here, and then we do that as the start of a dance floor, but our our only option for that is like second car. It definitely doesn't work against the boss. So we get into a bit of a bad spot. I think I can comfortably duplicate the packed morsels. It's not going to be useless. You know, my card remove probably should have been the blood suit. This double blood suits is pretty bad. I think one blood suit's pretty good against the Flesh Weaver, though. If I can get it out, get it set on him. Okay, I think we play a Crucible Warden here and keep the Shield Steward. Here's the problem. Alright, we have to throw away one morsel. I should have checked what both my morsels are before doing that, but it turned out okay. I maybe don't want to do that on holdover, but whatever. Oh, this one's actually getting killed by his spiked fleshling, so we're not getting the stats that we usually would. That's a bummer. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be in trouble for a bit here. Let me just do this, and we'll just do raw stats on this floor, because I don't want to dedicate my Shade Splitters there. Because I need to get the number fed. I really need these Lurking Miscreants to go away. I have nowhere to put this Spear Steward. Yes, I'm kind of giving him blockers for his Miscreants at the moment. If I go with attacking morsels here, we should be in a good spot. That does not clear this. It means this guy is only dying because of his revenge effect. Which probably means he'll die either way. Oh, no, now we have it. Pumping up this morsel did the job. Let's see. I want to do this. Still take out those two. Yeah, I'm just strapped for space at the moment. Oh, I didn't want to go up top. Jerk. And Temper Assault's pretty good there. Those in. I can Blood Suit this guy, so he dies on the way up. I'm comfortable with the Shield Steward going away, because I might want to feed the Crucible Warden a little bit. We got 4 lifesteal left on our big boy. Okay, yep, that's fine. Packed morsels. I do want a bigger health block on this. Go for that. Start feeding this guy. Alright. And those all have an attack value, so we might be able to do something to the Flesh Weaver. Keep him all pumped up. Funnily enough, with the Penitent's Blood Suit, I can Rising Rage him to cause another Fleshling to pop off, but I think it loses me scaling if I do. And it would take him down from having, like, 2 mass at the end to having 1 mass. It's not too big a difference. We'll be okay. We're actually in a pretty good spot right now. Because I can use Perils to keep cleaning out this these blights that I'm drawing. And we've got about 300 damage coming into the boss this floor. How are we doing here? We got it. Didn't even have to employ the real carry. Okay. I think it's probably Wretch here with packed morsels as my optimal morsel generation, I think we usually just want Wretch. If it was different morsel options, Shroud Spike might be better. I do have the Perils, though, that gets me a lot of energy options that can possibly work with the Shroud Spike. Makes me think that Wretch is maybe the safe play, but Shroud Spike is the bigger value. Let me actually go for Shroud Spike. Okay, Morsel Maker versus... Okay, ooh, these are all important choices. So Shadow Eater could become important later on when we have to deal with Seraph, but our current morsel generation probably can't keep up with what the Shadow Eater needs. Firebrand is probably my favorite bottom floor unit for Banished at all, like ever. It's just amazing. But it does do a similar job to what the Avenger's doing. It does the job better, but it might be a problem that I've already put something in motion to solve. If I go to 7 slots on the top floor, the number's 3. This is effectively another 3. I would only be able to play 1 additional morsel on the top floor if I take this Morsel Maker. But I think this is the unit that does something that's the most unique, so I'm going to go for it. Taking Heaven's Light now. I'm very likely to take Energy on the second go, unless I break my Energy, which is possible. Let me see. The new unit that I added is not upgrade hungry. The Demonic Fledgling can take upgrades. Who else can take upgrades? Crucible Warden's very mediocre if upgraded, and I don't really need him this run. I actually just don't need him to do anything. Let's see. Forgotten Boons versus Trinkets. We probably can't buy anything at this Merchant of Trinkets. So it's the Alcove and the Pyre Remains versus Forgotten Boons and Merchant of Steel. So I don't have a good Empyrean Well candidate either. Actually, no, I can just duplicate Shroud Spikes, right? Yeah, let's come over here and plan to duplicate a Shroud Spike. Yeah, I didn't get a Titan Stone, which is what I'm on the lookout for the Avenger. These options also don't work well with the Demonic Fledgling, so I don't think I'm grabbing any of these upgrades, actually. I'll save money. We go probably full Glutton Path. Sometimes you want to go 1 Monstrous to get the Trample. How liable are we to need that this time? There's a distinct possibility we need to trample through stuff later, but honestly, I think if we don't go full Glutton, we won't have a big enough stat block for the trample to matter. Yeah, duplicating the Shroud Spike. And moving on. Okay, this does make a couple things harder. I cannot kill Disciples of Ruin because they have 5 base health. So I will not be able to kill them with Antumbra Assault after taking this challenge. But I can still kill them with Blood Suits or by just causing them to the front of the line. I think Quell himself is not a big threat to me. I do have to make a choice about the Demonic Fledgling immediately or the Morsel Maker immediately. This guy only gains 1 attack on strike. He's not that important to the overall strategy. What he does best is clean up extra backline guys, so I will bring him out for that purpose. I'm just going to go super simple this turn and do this. That's a lot of stats. I wonder if there is a case where I want to Rising Rage the Demonic Fledgling and then start dancing. Well, if I Rising Rage him now, he dies, because I don't have the energy to play more stuff. I don't have enough discounted Just Causes to play through that. So, Penumbra definitely kills the Scarred Sentinel, and the Morsel Maker does not have enough attack to kill this through the Titan Skin, unfortunately. Can get that one with Antumbra Assault, so we'll do that. We always have a mag morsel out. The mag morsel can take out an axe thrower. That's good. I think we bring in a spear steward at the back here. See how much that helps. So this can definitely be our secondary eating location, but we're not breaking through the Titan skin on the Scarred Sentinel. The number's going to do the work, so I guess it's fine for now. I probably want fewer of these guys to go upstairs here. There are other packed morsels. Let's see. That can go to the pyre, that's fine. 6 damage doesn't break through anything. Feed him more health. It's probably the priority feed for him. Well, I'm seeing a pretty juicy play that we can do here. So I have a big Shroud Spike play. I think I want to get these out first to keep some power going on this floor. Oh, being able to Shroud Spike into Rebel Morsel is also very funny. But I'm going to go for the health here. Because I think that's the thing that best builds our success against Kel. Okay. I don't need to Antumbra Assault anything there. Probably just bring in a Rebel Morsel. We'll just let this floor do what it's doing. We're taking out the Scarred Sentinel. This guy is really not doing anything if we're not dancing him. Maybe a waste of an upgrade. The number clears this up for me, no problem. Oh, whoops. That was a misclick, but it's not important. Right, I don't want to play spells. Let's remove the lights. Yep, 2 hits. Okay. We definitely have space to play an Emberforge, and it is pretty okay for us in a lot of combats. Grovel is very strong. I think I'm not really looking at the Ember Cache this time. So Ember Cache doesn't really bank you draws, it's about banking energy. I'll take the Ember Forge. Spike the Banished is cool, but Shield of Wing is a much better problem solver for me right now. That makes my bottom floor a force to actually be reckoned with instead of ignored. I think I want to check the Merchant of Steel again and try and fish for that Titan skin for the Avenger, because I do think he has problems if he doesn't get that. You might also find a good room. Everlasting Light's pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to take Everlasting Light and play that to my multi-striker. We have another multi-strike, Immortal Shield Brave. Unit here. Kind of hoping we got a little chicken, one of the birds. But without that, I think it's fine. I'm going to take this guy just for an extra, like, space filler. Just going to hang out a little bit. I'm going to give him another multi-strike, and then we're going to re-roll this. There's the Titanstone Avenger. Cool. I know how my bottom floor looks now. That's great. I'm comfortable with Heartstoning the Crucible Warden. I think we've got a lot of cases where the Crucible Warden fails to be good enough. I'm ready to remove my upgraded Shield Steward. I don't really have places to put him. And let's see. So the game plan is, bottom floor, we put the Shield of Wing on the Avenger and the Everlasting Light on the Demonic Fledgling. So we start supplying a bunch of Valor to the Avenger. And that is going to make that a pretty tanky floor. Oh, we do want to remove one of the Blood Suits. I can also start using Holdover Perils to target the Fledgling if I really need him to be a good attacker. I'm not sure if I do. I think it's good enough for that floor to just have a powerful revenge effect. We can probably deal with this Undying. Because we have the Shield of Wing. Without the Shield of Wing, I would not have the gas to take care of this. Let me put a second attack there. I probably want an overflow feed for it. Getting him in is pretty important, so I'm going to do this. I was debating on the Ember Forge, but we just start building Valor down here. There's our Everlasting Light. That's going to help out a lot. Going to just remove you, I think. Just drop these Blights and move on. Okay, cool. We're getting the Collector. Those in. You in the back, so you can also receive Valor scaling from this. I do want his Valor to be pretty high. This Corruption is going to cause him to die pretty quickly when the boss shows up. There's the Shield of Wing. We should be able to play this Calcified Ember. Focus on Lifesteal. Get those out. The Just Cause is a lot less important. Yeah, this bottom floor is going to control the last few waves now that it's gotten its equipment out. I don't want to play into Sap there. We'll just make the number stronger, when in doubt. Oh, we're actually winning here. Okay. Yeah, the Shield of Wing Revenge for 90 is pretty powerful. And having a triple striker clears out these extra lives pretty fast. Let's see. We're on an Ember Drain strat, so we can safely play Void Binding. I don't know how often we need that, but maybe it keeps our bottom floor alive in some cases where we need it. Well, Imprisoned Zephyr's part of a different game plan. We definitely have room for the Punk Shredder on the top floor, and it might be really, really helpful. I want a Merchant of Magic if I can take it. Looks like I can. We're looking for Spell Chain, and I did want to hit a Pyramanes. Okay, Double Stack is not Spell Chain. Hold over Double Stack. Do I have a double stackable card? Not a very good one, right? No, we could double stack the Void Binding, but that's not really what I'm looking for, what I'm caring about right now. I'm going to Power Stone and Umbra Assault so it can kill silencing units. There's the spell chain for our holdover perils. Now I don't need a... Um, now I no longer need an energy upgrade at all. I can just play my deployment as I have been. I'm going to Holy Stone one of my Shroud Spikes, just in case. It's a little bit of insurance. Bag of Fire Remains. I think we're vortexing out Spear Stewards at this point. It's either Spear Stewards or like a Shade Splitter Just Cause. I'm going to remove the Spear Stewards. On we go. It's very good that they made Gluttony Penumbra have a better base stat line as you go further in. Because it used to be that he would stay at 20/20 the whole time, and then he could get clocked by Kale here if he didn't draw a blocker. Pretty lame. I need to make sure I have something on every floor for flying bosses. Okay. I got my Everlasting Light, Shield of Wings straight away. It does mean we're going to skip a turn of feeding Penumbra. But that should be okay. We clear the entire floor. Awesome. We're going to build up a lot of corruption in our guy down here. He's going to need a good amount of Valor to make up for it. But he's going to gain 6 Valor per turn. So if the corruption gains are lower than that, we'll be fine. And they might be, I'm not 100%. Slow down my bleeding. Okay. I want to get the Morsel Maker out. Question to myself is, am I playing Shroud Spikes right now? And I think I'm probably not. Get that out onto Kale. Yeah, I think that's a no. I want to get the Punch Shredder out on the top floor. Everything but the Shroud Spikes, actually. Valor count is still lower than the corruption count. Looks like that's where we're going to be. So right now I don't have room to play anything else because I have the Punk Shredder in here. Once I get the next expansion of the floor after this fight, we'll be able to play stuff again. I only have Entumbra Assault targets because these guys are tiny. Big Perils just because. Try and keep him up to speed. Nowhere to play this other morsel. Let's see, I think we're going to Void Binding the Avenger for the damage shield. So you can keep ahead of this corruption. And I can start perilsing my own units now. We should have 6 energy per turn off of perils. The Ember Forge is going to get outmoded, unfortunately. But it's just how Ember Drain strats work. Damage on the Avenger is surprisingly valuable. Maybe it's not a surprise, but... Restore 6, take 2. Sounds fine by me. But since he applies the melee weakness, he's usually the one to take advantage of his own melee weakness effect. Which is pretty good. .34 Valor, 36 Corruption. is going pretty by the book. The Glutton's Maw is pretty strong, right? Yeah, seems good. I don't have equipment on our big chompy boy on the top floor, so let's give that to him. Let's see. I could fish for rooms at the Merchant of Arms. What would I get at the Merchant of Magic? I could just get upgrades on Just Causes and Shade Splitters, and it's not even the worst. We might find, like, non-consume for a Shroud Spike, too. Or some crazy event. And I think we can fish for a crazy event right now. We seem to be pretty comfortable. Just gonna go full Gluttons. We have a Trample Source. Yeah, like, okay, so we have, of course, Intrinsic Rising Rage doesn't really do much for us with this setup. Normally, it's pretty exciting. I don't think I can do anything crazy with Intrinsic on, like, Packed Morsels or a Shroud Spike. Sometimes I might want to try for that. I think I check a reroll on this to see if we get something crazy. These don't really look that crazy. This double stack excludes triple stack as well, and that's one of the things that would go pretty wild on Void Binding if we check the event. You know, I can Permafrost one of the Shroud Spikes to hold it for a good turn. I'm just going to do that here. I think that's pretty helpful. Let's check the event, then we'll go for the Fire Shards. Okay, we're not getting, like, Archus lucky. That would be insane here. Do I want to cut down on my deck size? So I don't really need this Ember Forge. But I could remove some Shade Splitters or Just Causes, which are also not very effective. I don't think I really need card removals as much as I need to find more, like, X-cost spells. There's a lot of very powerful, unupgraded cards we can pull into, so I'm just going to take the large Mystery Box. Because if I can get, like, an X-cost flip into Wings Radiance or Forever Consumed, those are some really powerful effects, even if we don't have upgrades for them. This Pyre Dampener's pretty restrictive, so how are we feeling? Ragewing Assassins are problematic for our Demonic Fledglings in the bottom floor. So we might lose some bottom floor units, but the Shield of Wings still clears them out, and I don't have to worry about them overall. So I think I'm going to turn this on, and it can cause me some headaches, but we can play through it. I think I still start like this, even though this Fledgling might not be able to live that well. That's funny. Cleave would out the Fledgling if I needed to. But he's going to lifesteal back in. Oh, no. My hand size. Bit of a problem. There we go. Energy constraints aren't real. It's fine. I'm just going to give him Blood Suit for now. Actually, no, I can just leave him. It's all good. Hand size again. So I have a 9-card draw at the moment. Yeah, see, like, I got the Shroud Spike and the Prismal Dust. And the Prismal Dust is coming in off the Mystery Box, but Shroud Spike into Morsel Miner probably, like, wins me the fight. Is there anything else I really want to play? No. Yeah, stats. I don't want to redraw this. I'm going to get rid of it. I need to try and prevent that Sweeper from going to the top floor. Get Glutton's Maw out. Get that unit. Shroud Mitosis. Eat one of them. Throw a Just Cause at this guy to get him out to the front. If we do this and this. All right. Not sure what we're doing about this other Ragewing Assassin. Oh yeah, Pyre Hunting. That'll happen if we don't draw our other blocker. Okay. Now the Ragewing Assassins are taken care of. Nice. Pump him up so that I can play other cards. We're not going to play that Everlasting Light there. I want to give myself the Trample, but I do not want to suddenly die. Damage Shield 2 does not prevent the Demonic Fledgling from dying here, unfortunately. Let's see. We're not getting swept on this floor, so I can freely play Morsels there. Eat that guy, because he's going to die on sweep anyway. So I think we're playing the Punk Shredder and then hitting it with the Void Binding so it sticks around. And we'll burn that. And I just don't get to use Everlasting Light this fight, which is going to make us a lot weaker on our bottom floor. But now that the sweepers are controlled full floor, that's probably the only thing the bottom floor really needs to get done for me. Perils. I have a lot of Vengeful Shards to drop, but I think I just Shroud Spike this Magma Morsel to get my attack high enough to trample through both of these. Yeah, now we can trample through 2 of these 500 units. Power Chomp. Eagle Heart's pretty cool. Space for a few more units that we can eat over here. Feed as much as possible. I think we do this to save the Avenger a little health. It only saves him 5, right? Not that great. The Eagle Heart gives him 5 Valor. It would save him 7. I'm reading the health value instead of the damage value. Still. How are we doing here? Okay, Athane is getting her effect off. Prefer for that to not happen. So I think a Shroud Mitosis on a damage shield probably gets us through the Chosen Prayer Stone. No, because it gets swept. Okay, so maybe on an Antumbra Morsel, because it doesn't die on the sweep. That kills the Prayer Stone. Cool, that's about what we want for that floor to do. We just throw the wet rest away there. So, funnily enough, the large mystery box actually gets blocked if the Pyre of Entropy gets to a point where it draws us 10 cards. We get Pyre Hunted by the Amalgam. That's expected. I don't think I can stop another Pyre Hunting here. It's like by the numbers. We don't have a sweeper here, so... Oh, right. Anything with an attack value runs into spikes and dies. Huh. Why are you getting killed? Oh, is it because the first attack takes out the Crucible Warden? Yeah, he's not even getting to eat. Alright. No reason to play more cards here, then. Yep, you're going to have to stand up to and kill everything. Luckily, you're good for it. There's that. I mean... while we're at it. Take you guys out. I'm gonna Rising Rage this guy so I don't get Fire Hunted. Give you an Everlasting Light for no reason. It's a very, very small amount of potential scaling. So she gets the armor, but I don't get Fire Hunted and we're safe, and I can drop. Second attack. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. This is exactly the game plan that we tend to want. Cannibalize is a bit more morsel generation. I'm not sure that we need that, but it probably is good. And we are drawing a lot of cards, so I'm not going to be punished for taking it. Let's see. I think these are all pretty playable, and we've got a lot of energy, so we can kind of use them. I tend to think Demonize you want to have as part of a greater melee weakness strategy. But we could do something like... I mean, Entropy's going to die of its own accord, and descending and applying melee weakness to Savagery doesn't really help. I'll take the Benediction, though. There are probably cases where we need to damage shield the bottom floor in order for those units to live. Alright, so we could get like 15 more health out of the Pyre Remains if we care about it. It's maybe not the most important thing. I think the Empyrean Well is going to be just a third Shroud Spike, because it's the most powerful thing we can do. I think having a third Shroud Spike is probably more powerful than what we get out of the Merchant of Magics. It's a question of the Unstable Vortex. Do we really need that? With Pyre of Entropy, I just don't think it changes much. So I'm just going to run over here. Check Merchant of Steel. We need to Titanstone something. I can Titanstone the Crucible Warden, and there are cases where that maybe keeps me up through like some Fire Hunts or something. We're up against Entropy. They don't really do Fire Hunting. I don't think I need to Endless anything. So there's a Titanstone option, costs 100. Let's check our artifacts first. Well, we definitely don't care about that. Celestial Cascade's actually pretty good. Chain of the Valkyrie is actually pretty good. Rolling it. Ooh, I like the Commemorative Spike. The Mask of Penumbra is actually really good. All of those things were, I think, better than taking Titan Skin on that unit. But since that unit does have an upgrade slot and we do have some money, I think I just give it a damage shield and call that a day. And we can throw a Strength Stone on the Demonic Fledgling. Is there ever a case where I duplicate an Everlasting Light instead? There's maybe a case for duplicating the Everlasting Light and putting it on, like, a Morsel Maker or the Punk Shredder or something else like that. But I think it really doesn't matter compared to the raw stats we get out of just having another Shroud Spike. See, the boss does 35 on their first attack, but the number starts at 50, so we should be safe as far as that's concerned. I need to get that out. Yeah, I think I keep the same deployment pattern. The Morsel Maker just doesn't come out immediately. Okay. I did draw one of my perils, so I could do about 6 off of this Morsel Miner. I want that on board pretty early. We're going to be enduring these Purified Souls until we get Shield of Wing, which just kind of is the situation. Yeah, I think we go to town on one of these Shroud Spikes immediately. That's why we have so many of them. So, just eat that 12 times. Pretty good stats. I need to be wary about this Deafening Herald. I am going to get rid of him. We need to get this Morsel Miner out, and I think that is it for our energy for this round. Put this on the boss just because, or do we want to eliminate a unit? I'm only planning to make like maybe 2 attacks on this floor. One of them deals with the Celestial Bastion, We'll have a Magma Morsel and the Morsel Maker to deal with this and this, so I don't necessarily have a way of dealing with this with Funk Shredder not out. I'll actually just do that. This looks like it's kind of under control. The multi-attacks are working, and the Avenger's attack power is going to keep scaling up to a point where he can start taking out these Scarred Sentinels solo. Okay, good. I did not want Seraph on the top floor for this round. He was going to actually interfere with me taking care of some of this. Keep this there. We want to be playing around the Chosen Ardents. There are Chosen Ardents everywhere. Okay, we'll play into this Chosen Ardent then. That's fine. Have all the attack power you want. You're not going to mess with Penumbra. He's got lifesteal. I could have gone for the Shroud Spike instead of removing those. Thankfully, I'll get a chance to reconsider next turn because it's a frozen Shroud Spike anyway. We're fine. If I play into this Enthralled Ardent, this unit attacks, triggers Revenge, which means he'll get the melee weakness and die. Nice. The rest is all fine. I would like my Shield of Wing, please. This guy I don't want to play into. So this is the floor where we get to play spells this time. I could have played that Morsel Miner upstairs, actually. See, this Crucible Warden's pretty much dead, right? Especially if I keep playing into these Purified Souls. Yeah, I don't think I have a way to save this floor. That's okay, though. I can let this floor lose. Just cannibalize that. Play more guys up here. And yeah, I think I do play into this Chosen Ardent once to just play a really big Shroud Spike. Shouldn't be too much trouble for this Avenger down here. He does get a little more pressure from that, but it's fine. We still don't have trample on this floor, so we're not trampling into the boss yet. That's a bummer. So I really need to draw my Shield of Wing in the trample. I know that I had to pass on the trample earlier. Oh no, the Shield of Wings is actually already out. I need to get rid of that. Be gone. We can play into this all we want. The number's not going to fall over, and he's got lifesteal for days. I don't think we need a Void Binding here. He's got some regen because he got equipped. It's fun. Yeah, the Shield of Wing is doing work. Okay. This Ember Forge will do very little for me, but we'll just play it, get it out of the way. Do I care about Rage 6 in particular? If I do, I care about it here. Actually turns into a decent amount of damage because of the multi-strike. We're not letting too much power slip past us at this point. Can I play into that safely? Every time I play into that, the Avenger's going to take an extra 10 damage. Damage he's taking right now is really low, though, so it's probably fine. Oh, actually, let me just get you out of the way so I don't have to play into you. There we go. Pretty sure we're just going for this big Shroud Spike. Looks like it. Nom 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 nom. There's my trample. So that's going to trample into the boss with melee weakness for like 1200 damage. That's cute. Nothing really in the way of nicer morsels. Getting the Shield of Wings set up, silence is cringe. I don't have a solution for it this time. Every other silence round, we just happen to draw the Umbra Assault for. Alright. Oh wow, we're killing the boss down here. Okay. Well, if we're killing there, I should not play into a Chosen Ardent because it will mess things up a little bit. Right? Let me just do the same trick as before so I can play spells freely. And that'll let me play these Blights. I want to avoid the Curse of Entropy damage if I can. Okay, we don't kill the boss if we do that. What if we add a little more punch? Okay, we're not killing the boss. It's fine. We definitely kill the boss in the top floor. Oh, whoops. I was about to scroll up and play into him just because. This does create a little bit of opportunity for me to, like, get saddled with more Blights, but I'm pretty sure we can play out our Blights for the rest of this. But yeah, the sap is pretty impactful on the Triple Striker. So, putting a sap on him does mean that he's a lot less likely to kill the boss. I'm gonna go ahead and not play the Cannibalize, because it'll be faster if I don't. Boom. Alright. Titan's time. So the question I'm looking at for this Titans fight is how long can we deal with the corruption effect on the Avenger? Probably a good long time. The other concern is sometimes we get a chosen sweeper that will threaten our demonic fledglings in the bottom floor. The Crucible Warden also isn't going to be receiving a lot of support, so it probably dies at a certain point during the fight. Oh, right. Full hand stuff. I've been forgetting about that a lot. It's a really rare circumstance to have to worry about whether or not your hand is full for the first play of the turn. Yeah, I messed up a couple plays there. We should have been able to play the Umbra Assault. Did I get the Shield of Wind? No. Without that, I can't kill the Chosen Supplicant unless I just cause it to the front of the floor. We got the Everlasting Light. We got the Glutton's Maw and the Punk Shredder, but I need to choose between them. Penitent's Blood suit you. I think the Punk Shredder's the better play, and it lets us get out the Pyre Lights. I'm just going to go for that. So there's the Chosen Assassin. We have Benediction to play around it. Although Benediction's only damage shield 1, the second strike from the Assassin still kills them. So that's just the way it is, and I don't have anything to out him. Once again, this is always the problematic setup. Well, and I suppose it's probably the Morsel Maker. Although I'm going to have to find a way for the Morsel Maker and the Punk Shredder to not get swept when they hit this point. Yeah, my only solution for this is the case where I might have needed a Cleave or something. Or a double stack Benediction, or the other damage shield card that I had. It's fallen out of my head for a moment. It's either Emberforge to give me a little temporary reprieve, or it's Pyrelight. I'm going to go for the Emberforge here. See if I might be able to arrange a stronger play. These Frozen Shroud Spikes are actually checking my draw, since I would normally draw 10. When you get to a draw 10 situation, a lot of cards become less good, which is kind of weird. Alright. You are not holding up super great, so you've kind of lost your support structure. Again, I played that too soon. I'm just going to make the number really big, and then expect that if the number is really big, the rest of the fight will fall into place. Okay, this is a really late Shield of Wing, but we've also, like, just lost other factors that were keeping the floor in a good place. There's too many things here that we're failing to kill, right? How do I deal with this? I don't really have a solution for a lot of... Ah, okay. Play the Shield of Wing to Penumbra. Now he catches everything. Okay. I'm going to have to hold out through some desperate straits here, then. After getting everything killed by a Chosen Assassin. Got a Rebel Morsel Shroud Spike suited for circumstance. Take that. Cannibalize really cannot matter here, can it? Unless I wanted to out one of my other units. Well, I mean, the Assassin sweeps no matter what I do with that, so... And he dies of Corruption almost no matter what happens over there. I can play this because Penumbra is fine anyway. Alright. We're going to play Penumbra solo with a Shield of Wing. And we're going to see if Penumbra with a Shield of Wing can beat the Titans by himself. He might. He's gonna get sapped a lot. I think I'm not going to play the other cards. I think we Rising Rage you, and it's going to get us another attack on Dominion. And it lets me play these. I might have let the rest of the train scale up too much with those plays just now. Where are we at? It doesn't look good. Void Binding, Shroud Spike up our HP. Okay, I need to get one lifesteal morsel along the way. We cannot play the Glutton's Maw, unfortunately. Rubble morsels don't really work for us. We Ember Drain past them. We can't play the Glutton's Maw, as I said. We did find lifesteal. Holding out against fire damage is our big priority. Fire damage is our lose condition right now. I need to not get silenced, right? If I get silenced, I will lose my I'll lose my revenge effect, and I won't kill the Scarred Sentinels. Maybe it's okay. I think I want to Umbra Assault that. Better morsel, and I can protect it from getting swept. So I have no Rising Rage to block this silence effect. But this guy has 1 attack value. Oh no, he doesn't die, because he's silencing my revenge trigger, so he doesn't die. But we do want to park one of these guys at the front, so I take 7 damage on fire. And we'll just play out the rest. So yeah, that'll be 7 fire damage, and I think I win next turn. Yep. So, despite some misplays, Penumbra can just do it himself. A little score maxing. Alright. A bit of a messy Titans fight. I knew I didn't have a real countermeasure to the Chosen Assassin. I was hoping I could get a bit more of my engine up and running before that happened. But I didn't really have effects to tutor my engine. I was just relying on the Pyre of Entropy to draw it. But we drew enough because we just brute forced it with the